honestly, I think a lot of the things that it's causing it a little bit hard for us to have a communication because a lot of people are not really holding much religion and morals to heart. A lot of people are turning away from the church and religion and faith. And then you got a lot of people turning away from science and biology because of all this woke crap. So it's kind of hard to have a conversation with somebody in this day and age. Um, this goes for just about almost every topic, but I mainly started this video that I was talking about with the body count and hookup culture. Like, I mean, I think I think we need to get, like, no offense, excuse me, how this sounds, but I think we need to get women under control before we can. I mean, because, like, I'm sorry, ladies, you guys got to get back in line so we can then focus on the men that are out of line so we can bring this into order. Um, I think that's why I think we need to focus on women. I mean, it's just like, I, like you guys can't honestly believe like this bullshit out there, really, can you? I mean, that you guys are really gonna get fulfilled working. I mean, like, I hate to break it to you, ladies, but your income does not matter. Your status doesn't matter. Um, your career, your passions, like they don't matter. All right, I'm sorry about this, but you're gonna get more fulfillment out of being with a man, submitting, and taking care of the house and the home and the children and the family and your man. I mean, you don't, negate yourself. I mean, but that's just a given. I mean, and I think those are like, when you can come talk to your man about how you are and how the day's been going. Hey, I need an hour, or so, to just clear my head. All right, go take an hour. I mean, take two. I mean, like, go chill out for a little while. Go worry about you. I got this for a minute. You know, if you need longer than that, I mean, like, just be direct and upfront. Don't try to like pull some games. Cause like, I'm sorry, but if you say like, oh, I need an hour, and like you go and take five, um, like, and then come back, and we're like, you said an hour, all right? Like, and I'm sorry, but that it does not work the same way about with men. Um, it's irritating, but when guys go on hunting trips or when guys go do this, you got at least a decent guy, which I think most men are. You call your man even when he's on his hunting trip and you want him to come home. There's a 9 times out of 10 chance he's coming home when you call him. So whether or not he takes an hour or five, or you guys discuss about how he can take off 3 days and go hunt with the boys, and you call him after 2 or 1, and you say, "Hey, babe, I need you to come home." Okay, and he comes home. Like, and that's where I think it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about him saying, like, "Oh, I'm gonna take off. I need an hour to take off." Like, um, I don't know. I just lost my train of thought, but I've been doing a lot of thinking in relationships. I mean, like, between the men and women, and watching all of these podcasts talk, and I mean, unhinged, or yeah, I think unhinged or unfiltered or something like that. Can't remember exactly what the podcast is called, but I like it because I think it's a lot more real, um, than most of. I mean, I think a lot of. I think the stuff that like on Fresh and Fit. I mean, I really like Pro. Fresh and Fit's not bad. Whatever podcast is okay. Unhinged or unfiltered is the one I like the more. But I mean, I've been watching Fresh and Fit first and for the longest, so it comes up on more on my podcast or more on my channel more on things to watch. Um, but I mean, I think we need to have like a real blunt like conversation. And I just think majority of people, or a good chunk of people, for one reason or another, doesn't have to be completely over on the left side. Um, it could be a little bit over on the right. I think majority of the left side is hard to talk to, and half of the one on the right are hard to talk to. But fuck your feelings. Like, I'm sorry that you got offended about what I said, but I don't care because that's not my problem. It's also not what I'm here to talk to. But if you're gonna be that sensitive about the words that come out of my mouth, then we're not gonna get anywhere. If I have to walk on eggshells, like, and I mean, I don't consider cussing that. If you don't want me to cuss, come at me politely. Say, hey, can we have a conversation without cuss words? I mean, I don't got a problem with trying to not cuss. I mean, I'm not gonna promise that I'm not gonna cuss because I cuss a lot. Um, but I mean, having a dialogue, it's one of these like I've been taught my old lady. Um, like, I'm not here to play games. I'm not here to fight. I'm not here to bicker. Nothing has to be taken in disrespect or personal. Um, but have a communication and dialogue. There doesn't need to be yelling or fighting. What's the point? Um, I am definitely more traditional. Like, or I'm trying. I want to be traditional. And I want the traditional way. Like, I mean, I definitely do believe in the gender roles. Um, I do think majority of stuff in reality in life are similar for men and women. Um, but it's the differences that make a big difference. The description on who, you know, what is a man and what is a woman, and what kind of man you are and what kind of woman you are. That shape you into being good friends and wives and husbands and whatever. Siblings and children to, people out there that you come to know as parents and friends and significant others. And I just don't know why. There's a lot of just hostility going on in the world between the genders and civilians and police and politics and society. Law and order is going out of haywire. And everything's just like falling apart, going haywire, and just going on self destruct mode. I mean, cause I know the guy I'm now. I'm I'm not really in the mood to change my ways. I like it my way. I'm very dominant, very apex. Like, I don't I'm also very calculated in my decision making. I don't care for violence, not because I can't, not because I don't have a problem doing it. I prefer the more civilized way. Because when you go into destruction, when you go into war, there's no turning back. There's no do over, and it's final. And I don't believe in like this half-ass, half-out. I mean, depending on the issue, there's talking about it, discussing it with our fists, or ending the problem one way or another. That's my three. That's three doors you get to choose. That goes along with everybody. It's different, when it comes to women and men. Men are definitely more blunt, and I'm a little bit more lenient with women. But I'm not here to be, I'm like, I'm not here to be disrespected. I'm not here to be embarrassed. I'm not here to be punked. I'm not here to be yelled at. I have my passion. I have my issues. I have my anger. But I'm not here to yell. Have a civilized conversation, and we can discuss things. I'm a firm believer that men that are men don't need to be checked, and ladies that act like ladies don't need to be checked. But a man can check a man, but a woman cannot check a man. But a man can check a woman, and it does not mean it has to be physical. But that is natural law of things in the human world. People might like to say, "Oh, well, the animals over in the bees or the ants, they follow a queen." That's fine. And that, I mean, in the animal world, that's like taking like insects. Just because the ants and the bees follow a queen, does that mean all of the insects do that? No. Some are loners, some are this, some are that. Same thing with same thing with the animals. And honestly, it's the same thing with humans. Some out there that some women will be okay being the leader. Some men will be okay following a woman. But a majority of men are not. And majority of women are lying to themselves if they say they are. It's not in your nature. And that's fine. It doesn't have to be. And you can't have, a man that submits to you and leads you. It does not work. That dynamic does not work at all. He can't submit to you and lead you. So you have to pick, chivalry or equality. And chivalry means treating you with respect because you're a woman, or giving you equality because you are the same as me. And I'm sorry, I don't believe in equality for women. I don't think we are equal. I think as a human being and life form that we are equal. But as a male human being and a female human being, no, we're not equal. You have your part, I have my part. Does not mean we are better. If you want to play tit for tat, like that's because that's all this is, just tit for tat. It takes both of us to keep the human race here. One of the genders can enslave the other one, and just repopulate. But women go psychotic already and kill their babies, and men would be automatically the ones that enslaves you. So you're not gonna you're not gonna enslave us. Um, so it takes both of us, you know, after centuries upon thousands of years, upon tens of thousands, 100,000 years, come to be now, and where we have a civilization, and it takes both of us to keep the human race here. But it only takes us to keep all of us safe, the civilization going, the income flowing, even the politics and the laws, being written, things being created and built and fixed, um, money being made, not money spent. That's you, ladies. That's you. That's all you. The money that's being spent, you got that taken down. Even though you don't make as much, you spend like you do. I I want traditional roles. I'm not having my daughters. They don't get social media. Um, I don't. I'm not having it. No, I mean they can go on YouTube and watch um stuff on there. But I'm gonna be. I mean, I'm gonna be watching it with them or checking in. If I catch them watching anything that they know that dad does not approve of, they will get grounded from using YouTube. Um, my daughter's cat being caught wearing anything that they know I don't approve of, they will be grounded. I mean, I boys like I don't. I mean, I might allow them to hang out with boys until they're probably about 10. But at least by 10 years old, no, they're not like. Because I'm sorry, like this might sound cruel, ladies, but men and women can't be friends unless by chance that there is no feelings or sexual interaction or gone on. If you guys don't like each other and never will, and never have had any kind of sexual interactions or then and you guys look at each other like brother and sisters like 100%, then I can maybe see you being friends with him. But the likelihood of a man, I mean, like, no offense, unless you're just not his type, which that's pretty low bar for men. He wants to fuck you. Not maybe not a 10-year-old, but when the guy starts hitting puberty, his hormones start to go haywire, and it's like a switch on the brain, and they look at girls different. So I think it's the same thing, like almost like when the women hit like past 25 or 30 or up to 30, like they start to switch on. It's where they like try to find that nice guy to settle down with. I think it's kind of like that same thing. But guys look at women like slabs of meat, um, something to play with in a good way. Not like manipulating, but more just to play with. Um, so I don't particularly think girls and boys can be friends. I don't think they can be friends. Maybe before puberty, they can be social. Um, but if they do have guy friends, they're not. I mean, if they hang on in the room, the door will be open, and there is no like, no, they can not no cuddling, no laying on the bed, watch a movie. Want to watch a movie? You guys can sit on the living room, watch a movie. Um, my daughter is not hanging out over at his house um, unless I feel comfortable and justified that nothing will be happening over there because I trust the parents to keep an eye on them. Because I'm letting you know right now, um, your son messes around with my daughter and he's getting married. I hope you guys know that. I do believe in that. He deflowers her, and especially if he gets her pregnant, he will be marrying her, and she will be like his wife. And she has no like. I'm sorry, but she has no say in that. I don't talk. I don't no. Because I'm not having my daughter turn out to be one of these single moms out here just fucking shit up. Like no. I think she could be capable of possibly, you know, doing that and working and being good, being there for her child, but I don't think she should, and I don't want that for my daughter. So just know for all future parents out there with sons, um, he will be marrying my daughter. But I mean, I talk a lot because I have 4 daughters. So that's probably, I mean, why I talk about my daughters more. I just had a son, and I mean, like, it's gonna be the same for him, just with little twists. I mean, from 20 to 30 to 40, and if 50, if nothing goes wrong, he will be focusing on himself. Uh, Women will not be within at least the first 5 to 10 of his priorities. He'll be focusing on building himself into something, saving money, this and that, learning about the world, experiencing women per se. Doesn't per se mean have to have sex with them. But at least go on dates with them and understand how women work, especially in that time period, because that's going to be like 20, 30 years plus. I mean, that's going to be in 30 years, that's going to be the year 2053, and I'll be in 30 years, I'll be 67. Um, so I don't know what time will be like in there, but these are what the values going to be passing down on him. I'm not having like, yeah. mm, I'm gonna be teaching him that, I'm gonna all fair warning, because these aren't stuff I'm gonna be teaching my kids. So I'm giving you a fair warning on what my son will be learning. He will not disrespect women. Um, like I like to talk a big game, about how I don't have a problem checking women, but I have not, and I don't plan on it. I mean, one, because I prefer not to, and two, I know what kind of damage I could do if I did. Um, I mean, I've crossed the line, a little bit here and there. I'm not proud of my actions, but I don't feel like I hold full blame on it. Um, so probably talk about my son more, about how I'm gonna raise him, but I mean, I will. He does not tolerate women raising their voice or raising their hand at him. He will not. That's number one. He will not tolerate that. Period. And I think I already mentioned that, like, if your daughter has five or more bodies, he's not even gonna look at her as anything, um, like, as a serious partner, as somebody that he would look at as his wife. Um, Now, if he actually does take any of my advice, that's completely on him. But this is what I'm gonna be schooling him. Um, I mean, if she gets pregnant, um, like, if there's not been, I mean, if this was just one night fling, I mean, particularly I'm gonna be teaching him, like, because if she has five or more bodies and he fucks her, he's not obligated to marry her, and especially if she has kids. If she has kids from previous relationship, he's definitely not marrying her. He will not date a single mom. Period. All right. No. I'm gonna get him the 401 on that whole thing. That is not in your best interest, especially if you're single and you got something going on. It is not in your best interest to get with a single mom. No. That will be kryptonite known to him. He will not even think twice. If he finds out you have a kid, I'm gonna school him that if she has a kid, I would not even fuck her. Don't marry her and don't fuck her, because you do not want to be tied to that headache. And I'm sorry, but that's what you women are, majority at least. I mean, my wife that I have now is technically a single mom. That girl I was dating before her, pretty much, was a single mom per se. Um, and from what I've dealt, I mean, that's just two. I mean, I've done it a few times. I mean, apparently I didn't learn up to the first three, because yeah. I mean, I think I've done it 4 or 5 times now. And it's not. No, it's not more. I mean, the relationship before I had my two daughters with. I mean, she has a son that I pretty much raised 90% of his life, more than his own father, and I get cut out of his life. But yeah, I'm gonna end it there. Been talking for 24 minutes and 55 seconds.